Socal Slam. We are back. One set just concluded, of course, with our little first round match. Team Autistic Duck and Team Botan. We got to watch the full 5 players duke it out down the line. And now we get a little word from the coaches. We got Botan and Duck in the call here, just telling us a little bit about what they saw from their players. And I guess let's start with you, Duck. What did you kind of, top to bottom, who are some players that impressed you, some moments that you were really proud of, some overall impressions from getting to see everybody in action?
I think everyone impressed me with the way they played in more ways than one. Not just fundies say, but also their antics. I was very entertained. I was definitely going in just hoping that everyone really has fun and maybe get something to learn. But I'm pretty happy with the way Charged. There's some pretty good stuff that happened. I'm pretty happy about this.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot to be happy with on both sides. Botan, speaking of antics, we got to see JoJo go for a good amount of command grabs on that Leo. Is that any idea, is there any kind of Botan spice that was added to the mix there, or is that just a JoJo original?
Believe it or not, that is all them. They love back turn S into command grab, and it works every time, and they're so right for that.
I mean, hey, it paid dividends. And of course, gotta ask you the same question, Botan. Were there any players that stood out to you? Any moments that you were really proud of, or anything that you want to highlight from any of those matches with your team?
Really proud of everyone. They all played so well, and I just really impressed with them all. And Grampy was commentating their set while playing, and it was unbelievably funny. And I just really appreciate how much everyone was really trying their best, really focusing, and really thinking about the matches as they were playing. And I'm so excited to see how they keep doing.
Absolutely, and I mean, we're gonna have plenty more matches, of course, like we have said. For those of you that are just tuning in, this is not the main event. There will be the main event to come, where everything is gonna come down to the line. But it's scrimmages like this that help that competition just get a little bit more up. Duck, do you have anything you would like to say to the team, to your team? Any heartfelt messages after the performance today?
Good job. I'm a little disappointed we didn't 5-0 them, so we got some stuff to do, but but we can always work on that. Got some good material to work on.
You can always win more. You can always get a little bit of extra action. Botan, any words of encouragement or anything you would like to say to your team going forward in their next match?
The sweepings just started. You can't sweep too early. The sweeps.
It's true. It's true. You gotta have the broom in hand, and you gotta start in one corner, work your way through. You want the full clean sweep, it's gotta start here. Thank you both so much for stopping in to give us a little bit of insight back into the team, and we're gonna be moving on along to our next matches. So we'll see y'all. I imagine y'all have to go rejoin your teams for their next matches.
Yeah, and we're going to be getting right back into it with Team KuriGohan on player 1 side against Team Mistikal up here. I believe we were having a bit of a controller issue with the E5s. No, we are good to go. So we're going to be starting up, Nico Mimi here against Arcana. Both, on the newer side to the game, obviously, as the tier would imply. Nico Mimi, been around the scene for a long time, is in fact... it comes out to locals, doesn't necessarily compete, but is always there for a good time, comes out for the dinners and all of that. Arcana only recently joined, but has been, putting in a lot of time, putting in a lot of energy, making it work, braving, Socal public transit to get out to locals, finding rides when possible. So I'm really excited to see them both play.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to see as we get, just... Again, we gotta start. We gotta start at the bottom. We gotta start at the first round matches. Looking over just the teams, I'm noticing on Team Mistikal we have a lot of dual mains. A lot of people playing multiple characters. always kind of interesting to see, you know, people that are like, either they like two characters and they haven't decided, or, you know, they're just trying things out. They're still trying to find the exact right, you know, right mix that they need for all this.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of them, you know, switching characters coming up on the, just with the patch, Arcana, a pot player beforehand, learning the Jacko, not an easy character, but again, you know, just like with the Asuka, you might not have your game plan quite down exactly, Pat, but your opponent's not going to know what's going on either. Oh my god, an air throw.
What an air throw from Ana. The pressure as well, does not cancel into the super, but a wall break by any other name will be just as sweet. I love just sending the Dragon Kick, just being like, actually, this is pretty fast. It's going to be kind of hard to react to, especially with Jacko being a character that likes to up back a decent amount. It's not even the worst option. You could have had such a big punish there, but let it go. We wake up with 6 speed. We send again.
We're sending it. Oh, and the reversal super gonna beat the throw there, giving Arcana the first round. And yeah, you know, Jam, maybe a little bit of a simpler game plan. Obviously, to Jacko, don't need to... I guess you still kind of do need to set things up with the cards, but it's, you know, a little bit less of a process. But on the other hand, I think Arcana has a bit longer of a stint on the game. Has been playing for a little bit longer, so we're going to be seeing, you know, if that extra time can translate into figuring out this more complicated character.
Absolutely, and we're seeing a lot from Nico Mimi, just like a lot of light presses, a lot of like 2K usage, which I do like that we're willing to temp check with these smaller buttons, you know, kind of recognizing, well, these are my fast buttons, you're getting the fighting game basics down.
Yeah, it's
around though.
You know, obviously you need to work in everything, you need to use the kicks, the slashes, the heavies, everything, figure out when the right situations are, but if you're only going to be pressing one, I think kicks is the one, you know, only relying on slash normals I think is something that a lot of new players fall into because they want to press the big thing, but then, you know, you're on offense, you're on defense rather, and that's just not going to work, whereas these kicks, you know, they're a little bit of a jack of all trades.
Absolutely. Speaking of Arcana actually getting above the Dragon Kick finally, right? Like figuring out your answer, just being like, if I can be above this, if I can just not get caught counter hit by it, opportunities for punish come a flourishing in the form of that game 1. Now it's just back up to Nico, you know, like you kept it close, the rounds were very close. It's just about, like you said, you have to use the full range of your character. You have to use these bigger buttons, because if all you're getting is kicks to get damage started, it's gonna be a death by 1,000 cuts that might take a little too long.
Absolutely. At some level, you just end up getting, you know, conversion diffed, so to speak. You're getting, you know, 15% in the soft knockdown, and this is what's happening when you're getting hit, right? It's just you need to win so much more often if you don't have the pickups quite locked down.
Ooh, there's a money hit for you. Getting a good confirm off of it as well. A lot of meter, a lot of flailing though. Nico trying to just get this Jacko back down on the ground. Does this hit high enough?
Oh no, it doesn't! Oh, a big ol' counter hit. Not a ton of damage because of the PRC scaling, but still, we'll take out getting put in the contraption there as a winner in episode. Yeah, you know, we're seeing maybe a little bit of a pressing button coming out, but I think it's easy to overlook how different it can feel. You know, you're on stream. Spec count, you know, it, to some extent at least matters a lot more than you have your training sessions. So even if you have those, you know, the simple knockdowns and stuff ready to go, and you know what you're supposed to be doing, it can all fly out the window with the nerd and just be just like, oh god, I need to press everything and everything to do what I want to do.
Ooh, finds reversal throw. Honestly, Arcana getting a lot of just like finding throw opportunities, finding just when Nico is like getting in and then just being a little too afraid to press. Able to get some good starts. Tried to get the slide into the puffball, not quite close enough.
And these high up air hits, kind of finding the back row a lot. You know, a little bit more of the Guilty Gear experience, knowing, listen, I blocked that jump in. Jump ins aren't that plus in this game. You're gonna get thrown if you're too high.
Hits out the minion, getting a lot of space fought with these minions. 100% tension. Air-to-air connection. Okay, minions are empowered. you can start putting more pressure out, and it's just a little bit too much to deal with. I do actually like that also. I feel like that's also probably an answer to I am getting sent from full screen. I do not know, like, you know, I would rather not get counter hit across the map. So let me just put minions in front of you. Let me just put like these light hits that are just gonna kind of keep knocking you down, keep you in pressure sequence, make you a little scared to be full sending that, right? You have that command dash, but if you're not ready to be, you know, like finding the time to actually slide under the minions, you're just gonna get nickel and dimed out.
Yeah, exactly. We're not really seeing, like, you know, maybe hasn't put all the pieces together on the offensive situations, although, you know, we're certainly not lacking. We've got some of the ideas. But are kind of doing a really good job just using these minions as projectiles, like holding the space in neutral, saying I'm gonna chuck these things at you, I'm gonna, you know, do the clap command, just use them to control space, pester you if you have an answer. Oh my god,
We
we're
are
dancing
playing
around.
a game of leapfrogs right now. that was a I will just own the ground and try to catch landing, but Nico just content to sit her place in the air. Finds the connection with the 5H here. Can we get up for a little bit more? Respect. Oh, and just finds the opportunity to send. Oh, that was so scary. We tried to bumper a reversal super and we just got minion call.
And just like that, that's going to be game point for Arcana here, potentially. A great reversal 6P, recognizing the anti-air, saying you're not threatening something on that jump, I can just hit you out of the air. We're flying around. I'm getting the sense that Nico Mimi enjoys the air movement in this game, really happy to take to the skies when she's not quite sure what to do.
We're playing an anime fighter. I wanna jump. I get it. Oh, and I
does that punish? I think I saw the parry. Yeah, that's gonna be a punish. Good chunk of damage.
6P just a little bit too early, and the minion not quite high enough. We need the potential to be on the board here.
And these different minion trajectories just so tricky, right? You're seeing just the forward throw to save, to cover the space, and then if you're thinking you're gonna mash, you just want to get one behind. The new up throw trajectory is a really, really difficult one to deal with for a lot of characters.
Oh, did this
Might be
super
strive
connect?
earthing a little bit.
The internet does not want us to know. Look at her thinking about it. Look at her holding her ball. She's so happy with this thing. Oh.
I think I saw blocking before, and you know, with that long to consider it, the coaches know, oh yeah, it looks like we're taking a sec.
Alright, do we play it out? Do we go to the last round? This is unprecedented behavior.
I mean, Strive Earth comes for us all. I am not. Currently, it looks like we're just gonna play it out. Oh, it's a desync. Uh-oh. Well, I imagine we'll be rerunning that game then. No fault of anybody's.
These things happen, you know, making a fighting game is really hard, and, you know,
Making a fighting game is really hard. Listen, y'all, as a person trying to make a fighting game, making a fighting game is really hard. And, you know, we joke about, you know, who hired this intern to balance Strive. If you, as is pinned in the Socal Guilty Gear Discord, I don't trust any of y'all to do it better. I'm sorry, this is a hard genre to figure out, both from a technical standpoint, obviously, with the netcode and stuff like that, and also, you know, from the gameplay. No more about that, we're getting back into it.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna hit you with 2K, and I'm already buffering the next special. It does not need the combo. Ooh, okay, there we go. Hold up.
Oh yeah, now we're getting in. Finds the wall break. Great conversion.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere now. Oh, tried to take some time to get some extra charges. Unfortunately, Arcana is in and on the offense.
Oh, we are spending meter. You know, got hit for that charge earlier, but does come out of it with the enhanced kick that we're gonna see right there. I'm starting to think that she might have a favorite move.
You know, just maybe, just
a hunch,
just might
just
be
a
a
hunch.
fan. It is pretty cool. It's almost like the Liu Kang, like, you know, like bicycle kick. It's just like once you see a special move that you really like, you're like, oh, I kind of want to keep hitting that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna just press it. You know, we all have our dopamine buttons. For SWAT, it appears to be charged dust, Commands Naga 6H. You know, you all gotta find the thing that makes you happy to press, and you know, even as you get better, you can say, I'm better at this game now, so I know how to structure my game plan around getting the dopamine.
Around hitting this button as often as I would like to.
Exactly.
Ooh, jumps over, no punish. The clash with Puffball, never before seen. Nor seen, we didn't trust ourselves. Looking for a minion to hit out, we're struggling, we're trying to find an answer. You can kill him, not quite.
We're pressing
And
2H,
reversal
2H,
throw.
2H. Maybe looking for a cancel there and wasn't quite getting the input. And oh, gonna go over the 2D actually. Hold on, that's some matchup tech right there. You learn something new every day. Doesn't matter if the people you're watching are Evo Grands or Grand 1 of the Student Mentor Tournament, you can always learn something about this game.
I like the connection there, just goes for 60, right? Just like recognizes that I will just put a button in the way. I don't need to know, you know, like, it's like we were talking about earlier. You just need damage, you just need to be on the board, and that is what you can do.
And wow, speaking of damage, that is quite a confirm. You know, I think a lot of the story of this set so far has been just like, you know, even if we're getting the same number, I'm getting more off the line than you. Oh my god. So, and you're scared, you're not pressing throne.
The shimmy into
The
and
little
then
aura
grab.
farm. We love to see it. And that's going to be a
I believe
3-0 for Arcana.
Yeah, 3-0 Arcana off to raise the
That's my goat going 4-0, says Mistikal in the chat. Not quite, but, you know, not that far off.
3 with an asterisk, you know?
3 with an asterisk, 3.5. Alright, next up we're going to get Bochi Mix up against King Doppio. Doppio, an enjoyer of a number of fighting games around here, I believe primarily a Skullgirls player, although don't quote me on that. Also, you know, throwing his hat in the ring for Strive, seeing, you know, I've competed in other things, maybe I can do it in this one too.
Yeah,
And then,
very excited. It's always kind of fun watching, or like, for the coach's perspective, it is a lot more fun to coach players that have played a lot of other fighting games or like have fighting game experience, because their starting point is just like, we talk about this a lot in the FGC, is there's a lot of transferable knowledge when you go to different fighting games. You always start your next fighting game a bit higher than you started the last one, which is really fun to see and really fun to kind of coach people through, because then you get to teach them like, okay, cool, you already know the terms, let me explain to you how they work in this system.
Absolutely. But, you know, on the other hand, it can be a bit of a double-edged sword, right? It can be hard going from one game to another that functions differently, where you can be doing a bit of a square peg and round hole thing where you're like, this is the answer that I'm used to and it doesn't work in this game, and that can be a really hard rewiring to do.
Oh, absolutely. There's always going to be bad habits. There's always going to be, you know, anyone amongst us will tell you about times where you're playing a completely different fighting game and you're like, I just forgot I didn't have a dash macro, or like trying to FD while playing Uni, or, you know, like trying to use shield mechanics while you're playing Strive. There's tons of like defensive options and like integral systems that you need to break out of your habit.
Yeah, absolutely. But alright, without further ado, I know that Bochi Mix has been dabbling with the Happy Chaos this patch. You know, I don't think we'd see any infinites regardless, but it looks like we're committing to the Eno for this first round.
A good start. Our infinites, man. Can we just slime it out? Like, I feel like if you're a student, that's a great way to just get a free win. Just be like,
Listen,
I'm
if
sliming.
you want to spend the month destroying your hands to grind those one frames, more power to you. We don't got Jack in the tournament. I'd say let it rock. It wasn't officially discussed, but listen, if you want to try and infinite somebody, go for it.
Yeah, unfortunately for Jack's chances of entering this tournament, we did not have a student slot that was that high on the Vanquisher scale. So.
Yeah, nor does he live in Southern California, so it would have been tough. We're letting the intros rock. Listen, I love to see it. On one hand, my Tio bring is like, y'all, the schedule, but also his characters are sick, and it's nice to have a moment to appreciate just how sick they are.
Oh, look, if you're not gonna aura farm, why are you playing the game? Why'd you pick up the 6?
Exactly.
Already starting to mix off right, tries to get in, but the projectile covers you. Ooh, almost goes for the bait there, but try to empty into a low, and Doppio trying to find an opportunity to take a turn. Good defense.
Very happy to down back. Can be a bit threatening against Eno. You know, sometimes you need to just hold back instead, which can be a hard habit to break, but gonna work out there.
Double far slash, not quite the combination that you're looking for. Bird, Bochi not wanting to deal with a back turn situation. RC. Oh no!
The odd can select on the safe jump, gonna bait out the reversal, and oh, I think we might like this new jump move a little bit too much. Gonna find the anti-air from Bochi, great pickup on that, and that should do it.
But why wouldn't you want to press the funny backflip, Opal? It's so funny, and it's right there.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I was hypothesizing when those patch notes came out that this might be a nerf to Leo players because they're too excited to do the new thing that they stopped doing, you know, the free stagger pressure and high lows and such. But
maybe
we are
playing
playing
for the king here. Oh, not gonna go for the full conversion. Doppio just kind of emptied that one out.
Great patience from Bochi. Very happy to say, listen, I made you block something. I'm gonna walk back. Maybe you'll flash kick. Maybe you'll press something. I'm just gonna wait, see what happens, react, and find rewarded for it that with the whip time.
Ooh, okay. We got RC cancel combos.
Tried to bait the burst, but didn't quite come back in time. So we'll never know if the read was there. Gonna be able to pick it up regardless.
Back turn straight into flip, saying, I'll play air to air with Eno. I'll do it all. Oh, trying to get the punish there. That was S-stroke. We had plenty of time to take your turn.
Listen, we were talking about DPM minus frames. Sometimes you gotta DPM plus frames, you know, let them know.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta keep them real long. Finally finds the punish there with 2K and a 5K counter hit. Should put Doppio in a good position to stay in the driver's seat. Flip kicks in, it's flush, baby. Do not get out of there. Do not pass go.
I think Bochi has identified, you know, he was really looking for the flip, and so 5P on defense against that backturn pressure going to be your best range.
Not calling that out again. Goes for the setup into the backturn D. One more hit will do it. The guard crunch isn't quite there.
And goes to bait the burst. Oh, I'm just going to get caught by the tail end of the flash kick.
Some will say that flash kick was unwarranted. Some will say nothing has ever been more warranted as Doppio takes that game 1. One thing I do notice is you were talking about how Doppio is versed in other fighting games, and one thing that I feel like a lot of players will typically run into is getting very overwhelmed by Eno offense, right? She is just a high-low machine. She is doing just like very hard to block mix, and if not half the time, you know, like you are just taking your guesses. We saw Doppio's defense actually pretty solid there, all things considered. We saw like blocking out a good high-low sequence, able to react to just, you know, react to the offense, keep your defense solid, and that is something that can absolutely pay dividends in, you know, at this level, because not everyone is going to have that ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Although, we'll say that is a bit of a privilege that Leo has, right? The threat of the flash kick is omnipresent, especially in a matchup like this. So, Bochi, I think, has been structuring the offense really strongly around baiting that out, which means you don't get to go for as many resets, you don't get to go for quite as many mix-ups, right? You got to keep it a little bit more honest. So I think if you're recognizing you're scared of the flash kick, I don't got to do it, the threat is enough, that's keeping you honest.
Absolutely. First, already off from the side of Bochi, finds it with the 2F there. Pressure, not quite. Doppio stops.
So great confirmed they're using the counter hit to get into back turn. And this is not where you want to be against their LA Fang. Great PRC doesn't quite get the throw, but keeps it safe, forces the meter spend in exchange, but chunk of damage, and now you're in the corner against Eno. Kick not quite gonna kill, so gonna go for the YRC instead.
With our
Oh,
throw. Oh no. Almost died to chip damage from that DP. If we don't FD the next one, this could be bad.
Always a
All
threat
my
you have to
people.
worry about. The trade on the 5Ks will go the way of Doppio for that round.
Yup, cancel 5K into 6K, just that Gatling that on his true frame is the trap. Should be able to get a good conversion, get a good carry to the corner as well. She's got some stuff, but he's got some ways to work. Oh, sneaks under and finds a nice hit there.
Stroke is the great equalizer, and that's going to be a lot of damage coming out on that missed flash kick. Keeping it simple, you know, don't gotta get too crazy with it. You know, his conversions did get nerfed this patch, of course, so taking what you
Yeah,
can.
and I like that Bochi is opting into combos that are just like, I'm gonna get you to the corner, right? Like, not getting too fancy, not trying to do anything that's like big to deal with that flash kick, just saying like, I'm just gonna keep putting you in the stressful situation, and I'm gonna keep running my game plan of get you to the corner.
Teabagging on the overhead?
That was something else.
I'm gonna be charitable here and assume that was a bit of a match stance cancel input. That is a down input, so very well could be, you know, a little nervous. It's a couple extra downs in there, but I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, this is the chance to show it if you wanna. Oh, I was gonna say, if you wanna debate that one more time, do a little BTD action, but flip over, flip in,
and these
and
flips-
yeah.
These flips going over jabs, you know, that starts to take a mental toll. At least it does on me. You know, I can't assume. Maybe Bochi is unflappable, is totally chilling. But when somebody hops over my jab with a move like that, I start to get a little tight, and I can't lie, it clouds the decision making a little. So hopefully Bochi gonna be able to keep it resolved, keep it you know, composed.
Very good stuff. And I also like that, you know, from the side of Bochi, right? Like, it was kind of what we were talking about earlier of having a consistent game plan and, you know, like consistent combos is what's gonna matter, especially for a character like Ino, who, you know, if your offense is going, you'll get there. You can cross the finish line.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you need to do 12 combos to do it. If, you know, you're getting the high lows, getting hits.
Well, that's one way to prevent that flash kick. Could be huge for Doppio. Goes for another one. Oh, and close enough that 5H is actually gonna hit this time. Not gonna let Bochi sneak under the far slash range.
Yeah, that 5H may not look like it at first glance, but that thing smokes low profiles and making good use of it there and saying, you're scared of the flash kick, I'm gonna just throw you. Good start from Doppio that's gonna bring it to potentially the final round.
Ooh, 60 big counter hit behind the sky and starting to run this offense. The flex shield not getting you out of dodge. Flip in. Oh, this time we catch it. And with the burst, bait should be a regular old corner conversion. You know, this is your labbed out combo. Oh
We got hit for fun! The combo wasn't gonna happen. And you know, I mean, that's a situation where that stuff can happen because you're holding forwards to get off the wall and then you fly off, you get hit. Unfortunate, but you're gonna take that all the way to the bank. A little bit of extra damage on top of what they would have gotten just from finishing the combo normally.
Your burst is gonna come back just in time to save you. Flash kick though, is really keeping the opportunity slim, and an RC cancel. Gets out of there.
Yeah, gonna be a quick 3-0 for King Doppio, cleaning that up and tying it up for the team is gonna be 1-1 here between KuriGohan and Team Mistikal. Yeah, I mean, that was just like, you know, the Leo pressure is so overwhelming. Flips, high-lows, the strike throw, and also just really clean defense from Bochi, you know, able to mix in the flash kick when needed, not get it baited too much, and just count on that respect to, you know, make it harder to go for some of the high-low mix-up that, you know, is so known for.
believe that's... What are we at score-wise? That's a...
Gonna be 1-1.
It's a 1-1. Keeping the sets...
Next,
Sets on,
this is one I'm
we're gonna see
excited
a lot
for.
of slugfest, I feel.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is an exciting one up next, here in the middle tier between Asian Cthulhu, known locally, I think historically, as an Eno player, brother to Ash, who we saw earlier, but recently on the Gold Lewis grind, and I think it's paying off beautifully. Y'all are going to need to get comfortable with this matchup because we're going to see it quite a lot. This middle tier has 8 players. 3 of them play Geo, 2 of them play Gold Lewis. So we will be no strangers to this matchup by the end of the slam. I have been, as an ex Gold Lewis player, I've been helping out on both sides. I'm giving the Gold Lewis scrolls, some mix-ups, some combos, but then on the other end also trying to help people figure out some of the counterplay where they can mash out, where they can backdash represent other things, and we're just going to be getting right into it.
Absolutely, and this can be a very fun matchup on both ends, right? There's a lot of opportunities in neutral for both characters to call out the other's option very aggressively, and then the pressure sequences, Geo has a pretty good jab to be able to pressure out with. So there's ways for both of these characters to make something happen, but knowing a little bit more about this one. Ooh, would have had to confirm there. Good recognition from Asian Cthulhu just to say, all right, I'm going, I'll take mine. I'll commit to first.
Gold Lewis got some very scary changes for this match in this patch. His 2K and 2S both got a lot of active frames, got a lot of disjoint. Or I guess I should say, one of them has a lot of active frames, one of them has a lot of disjoint. But very, very scary normals for Geo to contend with in neutral. They control a lot of space and they're not easy to whip punish. So we're not going to have to put in some serious work to get around them in neutral. But finding the hit here, this is where, on the flip end of the matchup, this can be a pretty scary situation for Gold Lewis in the matchup, where you don't have great mash out normals, you're a little slow, so you can't dash block super effectively, and you just get to getting boxed into the corner. But one slight slip up, and whoever is in the corner is having a bad time, even more so than most of the time in this matchup, I'd say.
The double shame, just in case we could get a little extra meter, but not even going to be needed. Out of here, keeping the round count even. Luna looking for opportunities. Ooh. Left shield, good call, just to give yourself some space, and ready with the whip punish. Ooh, that 2D, or that 2K connection for that one is not always the easiest, but good timing. No, she has been on this character for a good minute, so you expect the combos to be fairly refined.
She's making good use of them today. The big challenge, I think, is dealing with some of these knowledge checks on defense. Backdashing the 486, contesting with some of the space pressure. Geo, has some fast normals, but can struggle a bit against these spaced out resets that Gold Lewis is so good at. And Asian Cthulhu gonna take that first game with a burst bait.
Absolutely. And one thing that I, having played Luna, kind of a weakness of hers that I've noticed in the past is getting a little the moments of doing I'm gonna do dash of close slash and wait, or I'm gonna do a dash of 5p or 2p and wait is at that level of trying to see what you're see the confirm you're looking for, instead of just committing, which is kind of a hard thing to explain to a lot of players. I feel like there's, especially with a character like Geo who has all these fast buttons and you want to play very, I want to react to everything. A lot of times you do have to accept that, yes, you will press to catch something even before you see it. Moments like that.
Exactly. Off to a good start in this round, controlling the corner, that's really the win condition as I'm harping on so much, but the empty cross up low, that's a hard one to block.
Trades actually avoids just getting blown up by the drone here. Has enough space that, I was going to say, you need an instant BT swing. But it's going to be so minus when you get back down to the ground, and Cthulhu keeping this one a-rolling. Jumps out, doesn't come down with a button though, gets counter hit, just pressing too late.
little messy there near the end, a couple of drops, but it doesn't matter. You're still Googles, he's still at the corner, so able to clean it up regardless. Trying to call out the jumping that we've seen on him so much with the DP, but not really going to get punished. And a little spooky. It's a risky option against the character that can kill you for the risks. Right now we are just playing Street Fighter. We're doing throw loops. We're doing am I gonna throw you, am I gonna low, and it's almost a whole health bar down just from that. Ooh, we got fuzzies.
We got fun. We got set up.
And we're close enough for the wall to let you break, so this is, could be a pretty dramatic momentum swing. Unfortunately, this match is still dealing with the meter penalty a little bit. OTG not quite gonna kill because of that PRC scaling, but great. This is one of the things I was trying to drill into the Geo players was drones out. You can try and jump over it. You can try and 2D the dash block. You can get cheeky, but at the end of the day, the safest option is just going to be give up the screen space, right? You don't interact with Gold Bliss if you don't have to. So I really like, even though the JD found her in the end, I really like the discipline to just say, health, anything is going to kill me. I don't want to interact with that.
Absolutely. And a big part of dealing with that is always, when he summons drone, your first instinct should be to look at the security gauge. You need to temp check it. You need to be like, how much time do I have? Can I afford to give up the screen space? Will it back me all the way to the corner? Or in that situation of the security gauge being a little bit lower, saying, I can give up screen space, I won't be backed up to the wall, and I'll get my time to fight back.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't feel like, I think this set has felt a lot closer than the count would suggest. It's a 2-0, but it's I think still confidently anyone's set at this point, and you're capable of bringing this one back.
Ooh, that's gonna be a big hit.
That would have hurt a lot if you don't burst that.
Defense. Good 5P check. This time ready for the run-in. Not going to go for the throw tech. Gio's throw range kind of makes it a little awkward sometimes, but her 5P is good enough just to temp check, especially a lot of gold loses buttons.
Absolutely, and that's the thing with this Gold Blues character, right? It's he's always plus. You're not gonna catch him kind of on minus frames. You need to just say you're plus, but you're not. Ooh, great reversal on the close slash, saying I don't want to hold the high low. And this is pretty scary now. Anything to do it here, and the tap dust is gonna be the option to close out that round for Luna.
Left a scary amount of gap off of the close slash into the tap dust. But, ooh, great win there. Looking for more of these 5 H counter hits if you can find them.
Yeah, and Gio obviously known for the dash 5K. But in a matchup like this, Gold Bliss 2S, Gold Bliss 2K do such a good job of controlling that space directly in front of him that you need to start relying on the slightly in the middle, the heavier normals, the 5Hs, the 2Ds.
Boxed up there, BRC just give him the most respect from Cthulhu there. Able to just close out the round without too much trouble, saying, alright, cool, you're gonna spend your 50. Once you don't got it, there's no room to YRC, no room out of here. Trade there is going to be a huge saving grace for Luna here. Keeping the pressure going into the corner, plus lane time. We got Shikis? We gotta have Shikis?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I know this has been a big kind of point of practice this lane, as we need getting those fuzzies down more consistently. And paying off, gonna go through the wall, and the 2D gonna catch a bit of a, just barely missed the dash block on that, and it doesn't always work, but when it does, that's a quick way to neutralize the drone, and that is gonna do it. Luna taking it with the counter hit, bringing life back into the set.
Yeah, good delay, good stagger. Staggering with the Sepultura is always, it can be a little bit dicey because it, of course, two things like 6P, you have a 2-frame window to hit on to hit 6P before it starts hitting you, but there is always that gambit of well, I can leave the gap, and if you press anything else, especially when you've been FDing a lot, she gets far enough away that you can find a nice counter hit range, and Luna able to find a pretty good showing for it. We go into this game 4, if I'm not mistaken. Game 4?
Yeah,
Yes, game 4.
Game 4.
I'm so smart.
And yeah, I mean, I think we're seeing the adaptations coming in from Luna, right? Challenging on the large dashes, really relying on that 5H in neutral and finding the counter hits. So great challenge out from Asian They're saying, I'm not letting you get away with that spiral arrow. I know that's fake.
One thing I also like from Luna is that, like, even when they're getting bursted off, I like that she is looking for high damage combos, right? She is looking for those Shave DP confirms to get this exact string going up. Oh, and look who's going up next. It's going to be you off the back of that super BRC. Good throw tech there.
With 2K putting in so much work in neutral, such a big button forward speed, really, really hard for Geo to contest. Yeah, I think, you know, there's a bit of a, what should I say, like a bit of a stereotype of ooh, baits the way he doesn't quite get the punish though, and this is so close. Luna has a lot of meter to work with here, and oh, Flex Shield, but you're not quite out of 5H range yet.
Going for that
It's tough for
5H
Luna to react to that.
terrifying. We had a kill confirm off of the 6H into the super. We just didn't trust it ourselves. But now we're getting a good chunk of damage off of this one, and we're holding on to the corner to see if we can make it go a little longer. Flex Shield, a jab of the fuzzy setup.
Actually, I really like choosing the whole corner there. I don't know if Geo has a route to break, but ultimately this is where you want to be in the matchup, right? You want to go Lewis with his back to the wall. Great deflect, recognizing that fuzzy situation on the stand block behemoth. And Luna was really looking much more confident. Oh, okay. Maybe a little too confident on that one. Gonna get punished, but not very much.
I kind of like that. That is a classic. That's a Geo classic. Is just doing the Sepultura and being like, I'm -4, and then just jamming a super instead. Always kind of a fun surprise option, but Cthulhu a little bit ready for it.
Oh, a little too far for the confirm and too much meter for the minigun chip out to happen, and this is scary. Oh!
See, no! We didn't trust ourselves! We didn't think we'd get the meter!
Oh, a little bit too far. I bet that was throw. But that's okay, we still got one more round, and I have to say, Luna looking a lot more comfortable in this latter half of the set so far.
Oh yeah, once we're getting the offense started, you can definitely tell the experience on this character. It's just about getting through these defensive situations, how just getting our backdash blown up time and time again. Oh, the JH actually thinks awesome there. Very interesting.
Yeah, spacing out of that throw punish range, right? Sure, you might not be that plus, but if you're far away, it doesn't matter. Big counter hit on the 2K there.
So huge. Game canceling the super. And in other patches, you would just be able to jam the reversal super and RC, but this safe jump is good.
Yeah, you gotta, you know, play with your life on the line on these a little bit more now. You can't solve it. Oh, we do it again! Let's do it again! Oh my god! And that has to be being up 2-0 now on game point, looking down the barrel of a reverse sweep, and that's how the last game finishes. That has to be stressful for Asian Cthulhu.
Oh, absolutely. And I love that we went for that because it was, well, last time I was -4. This time I'm -3. Allow me to send an option. And I mean, that is definitely a, like, that's almost the online playerism of, like, I just don't think you're gonna expect me to do it again. Like, you blew me up for this last time, but I don't think you're gonna expect me to do it again.
Yeah, surely she wouldn't do it again, right? Like, spending 50 meter for a counter hit punish the first time, surely that's enough, but no. No, you always gotta expect it. And you know, in a situation like that, sure, maybe the risk reward on it usually isn't great. You're risking meter, you're eating a huge punish if you're wrong, but in that situation, the risk reward doesn't really matter. Either you're right and you win, or you're wrong and you lose, and sometimes you gotta be willing to flip those dice.
And with that, the last of the dice about to be cast. Starting off with a lot of respect here. Both players backing up, giving up a little bit of offense. Not going for these 5K ticket throws as often. Wondering if we're going to be seeing those in these final moments. Ooh, and we're going to get popped up, popped out. Burst off the table.
Listen, I'm just saying, the super would have worked again.
It would have. It would have. And sometimes you gotta let them know. YRC trying to keep it back.
Well, really close to the whip punish on that, but just a little bit too little recovery on that JH. But misses the meaty behemoth input, and that's gonna give Luna another chance here.
Yep, 5H. At least it gets the burst off the table, right? Which is as much as you can ask for in a round with 100% meter on the side of Cthulhu. Makes it a little dicey, and you're running out of meter to MD with. We tried to press our way out.
Looking for a slower behemoth there, trying to call out a reset, but just gonna eat a 6-2-4, and that's gonna be set point here for Asian Cthulhu.
That's into the dash up throw once again. Trying to just use a lot of these throw opportunities where we can get them. Tried to dash up for the DP, but that JB was long gone. Gotta get the corner for it. Oh, good punish.
Okay, we're finding offense again. Oh, dash throw, little backdash a little too early, gonna get punished for that. / trade, that's okay, we keep the corner. This is exactly, but doesn't respect the minus range enough.
Yeah, and for Luna, you have to start thinking about trying to hold on to burst here if you can. But that mental stack is starting to get perked up. Cthulhu finally forces the burst out, catches you with a JP.
The JP, listen, people don't talk about it that much, given how good Goldless 2P is. That move is a goated air-to-air. And the 5H gonna get hit by the 268. That's gonna be Asian Cthulhu cleaning it up in a really close set, 3-2.
Very, very good stuff on both sides. I think, you know, for Luna, we had the offense going. We were trusting in ourselves. We got a couple throws, and then just kind of lost the plot a little bit towards the very end. But as that continues, that means that with Doppio taking one, Cthulhu and Arcana taking the other two, Mistikal with the lead at 2-1 over Team KuriGohan.
We going into the fourth match here in between Calpico for Team KuriGohan, another Slam returnee, a Bridget player, learning from probably the best active Bridget in Socal now, against Bran Muffin, the Anji Menace. It wasn't intentional, but Team Mistikal, a little bit of a diabolical collection of characters. We got Ino, we got Anji, we got Gold Lewis, we got Potemkin. We are trying to kill you. So, can't imagine, not terribly familiar, but I cannot imagine this is a good Bridget matchup. Dealing with spin, dealing with 2P, great anti-airs. I have to think that this is a pretty difficult one for Bridget to deal with, but we'll have to see. You know, at the end of the day, you're playing the other player, so let's see how it goes.
Absolutely. Slow early.
Oh, already taking use of that new enhanced Fujin. Only -3. You see Fujin, you're like, oh, I get a punish. Nope, not on that one. But EP out. It's a little risky on Bridget this patch. You know, I'm sure some of you have seen the Twitter clips for TP. If only the middle hits connect on an extended hurt box, she is in fact punishable on hit. But you know, most of the time, it's still going to work out. And listen, if I had Anji on top of me, I'd be doing anything I could to get him off too.
And not everyone would.
I mean, okay, yeah, hold on. If I'm blocking Anji offense.
No, I get it. I don't want to be holding the high lows. I don't want to be dealing with that. Or crack the glass all the same. Jelly with the good hit to start this round off.
Calpico, no stranger to making you hold high lows by any means. Bridget, you know, has some flaws this patch for sure. You know, a little squishy, a little low damage, but you know, still runs mixed with the best of them. Good
opportunity to press on the fish. Recognizes that the landing lag makes that a little bit less dicey than it otherwise might be.
Ooh, clean pickup from Calpico there. And this is, I think, the reputation that she has out of the Socal Bridges, right? She's the labber. She's got the optimals. And good job holding onto the burst, saying, listen, the way I lose here is with the burst bait. If you're going to keep spending meter for nothing, I'm going to let you, and I'm going to take those 2 free bursts.
Duel 3. Let's rock.
Well, greedy run up, looking for the throw on the spin. Not going to work out, but DP is going to bail her out just fine.
Ooh. Out here. Good punish. Good reactions to the blocks as well. Feels like Jelly is just very ready on the defensive side of things. Man, great counter hit though. The roll is such a fun move, man. Watching it get hit, you're just like, yeah, I guess so. Like,
Yeah, it's listen, I'm on the other side of the screen. I'm getting hit. It is what it is. But super through the wall here. Again, you know, not as doomed of a situation as it would have been last patch. That meter penalty does matter a lot. You see Bram Muffin barely getting, not even getting a full bar out of that positive bonus, but it doesn't matter. You got Anji in the corner, and the counter hit 5H is gonna clean up game one.
absolutely, Bran Muffin. You know, it's a good way to start your day. It's the right way to start. It's a breakfast food, and of course you get a first win on the board with a name like that. I do actually like the way that that Bran Muffin has kind of just been like, well, I got fish. You know, like I have ways through the neutral. I just don't need to panic my way through. And that will kind of pay dividends. For Jelly, on the other end, it's just about, like,
Duel 1.
maybe dashing up, maybe calling out a couple of these spins, you know, like representing something that we haven't seen yet, because spin for spin.
Yeah, I think one of their spins might be a little bit better than the other, unfortunately.
Yeah, just maybe a little. Just maybe a little.
And I mean, that's the thing with Anji, right? You need to distort your neutral game plan so much around calling out these spins, these, you know, charge Fujins and stuff, that ends up being able to get away with just like slamming far slash using, you know, his buttons are no slouch either, even if they're not what he's known for.
Getting another spin off there just to steal the turn back. Not letting Jelly send in. Ooh, the 2K getting snuffed out. It was a lot of meter. This could be a very dire situation. The tap dust into the combo. Should not be able to kill even with super, but you have meter for BRC forward?
Oh, misses the challenge there. Oh, close up goes the wrong way. A classic Bridget problem, as I'm sure at least 6 Bridget players in chat are aware. And yeah, this is not... 6 health against Anji with meter is I'm not saying it's checkmate, but it's not looking good.
Pushing more pressure out here, and just dealing with this spin is just gonna be so difficult. It's such a it's a challenge as is for Bridget, but Bran Muffin, I feel like, is playing like a very solid range with it as well. Very mindful just to not be too close with it, and waiting for Bridget to send either Scooter or something in so that you're guaranteed to get the armor hit.
Yeah, exactly. You know, playing at a range where the spin is really good, and the, you know, the bigger buttons, the 5Hs, the yo-yo toss, far slash, all of that, but not so close that the one-up throw doesn't feel like you're gambling your life for it. So I bet that 2P was a DP input, not a button you're telling us you do Bridget smash, but and be forced to spend the burst for that one. Like, okay, we're getting the game plan going. Builds the bar. Might have been able to kill with reaching the wall, but that's okay. We're gonna clean it up on the next hit anyway.
Temp checks the burst just in case, being like, hey, you want to be the hero? You want to have it all? And settle down a little. Fan toss. Pressure out. Once Jelly gets started, where the combos are definitely there. Jelly 100%.
The combos are there. The Ogre is there. Just needs to find the
Jelly
first
might
hit.
not shake like that, but got combos like that for sure.
Oh yeah. And this is the confirm on that one. I'd already covered the yo-yo toss that's gonna get that confirm short, but it looks like this is gonna be a game on the board for her regardless. And yeah, we're just seeing, like, you know, the rounds that she's winning are the ones where we're getting a hit and we're taking it all the way through, right? You're getting a knockdown into a mix-up, you know, we're OSing backdash, we're covering mash, and just, you know, trying to build that momentum as much as possible off of the one neutral win, given that you're not likely to get another super easily against Anji.
I'm very curious to see a little bit of, you know, I'm very interested to see from Bran Muffin if we have a little bit more offensive potency. Just because we've gotten a lot of opportunities where it's like, oh, I got fish and now I get to run offense, and we've seen, you know, like we see the fan toss for resets, we've seen like nickel and dime hits, but I think forcing the issue against Bridget to do something active and get a big punish moment. Like, Anji is capable of getting to those high damage hits, and especially against a character like Bridget, that can be round ending very quickly. So, interesting to see if Brandmuffin can make those opportunities happen, canceling these lows. Oh, he catches you on the repeat.
Taking used to that that enhanced low, you know, huge knockback on block, only -3, really prime spacing trap material to catch a light like that Bridget 2K. And yeah, I mean, we're starting to see, right, getting the offense started. Oh, but goes for the reset and gets DP'd.
Trying to find a way to force your way back in, but Jelly is just, honestly, that's the thing that Bridget's best at, right? Is when you want to get in too much, this character is so good at stopping you.
Absolutely, and I think we're seeing her do a really good job at shutting down, you know, identifying this is how Brandmuffin's wanting to approach, and this is what I can do to deal with it. Seeing, you know, the ID back GHs to cover a bunch of horizontal space while being pretty safe to spin. Trying to just, like, you know, keep the range. She's really comfortable, and Anji has to take the risks.
Absolutely. Fish at the tail end still manages to find that crush. Checks, empties it out this time, falls with that JK. Reverses the situation, deflect shield, you're not out of the woods just yet.
Deflect shield
should be able to take this.
Oh yeah, that's gonna go all the way. Deflect shield, a thing that I think I find myself wanting to press a lot against Bridget, right? It's like I'm getting mixed, I want to be out of there, but at the same time it puts her right back at the range she wants to be a lot of the time. You're still holding the second mix-up even if you deflect the first, so it's it'd be a scary option to represent for sure unless you have a very specific plan with it.
Oh yeah, she moves forward with so many of her specials that, like, she will get back on top of you if you don't have the next press ready and willing.
Absolutely. And oh, didn't we miss comboable overhead from Anji? Well, here we are with the enhanced overhead being able to be RCable once again, going to be a big pickup to take that round.
The fan toss. Honestly, Jelly doing a very good job of never having to hold fan toss. Either jumping out or DPing out. Always finding an answer, good reaction just to Anji offense.
Yeah, absolutely. And oh, great trade, and we're baiting the parry.
Not gonna let that super go. Not gonna let that one slide. And I like that just going for the throw punch, right? Like, so many players will just be like, I'm gonna get the full thing, I'm gonna walk up there and whack it, and then you just end up hitting the tail end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. They did make it a little bit easier, to my knowledge, reduce the active frame somewhat, but still cannot fault, especially for a character like Bridget with such good throw Oki. Like, you can just take the throw.
Trying to get the first fade, still going for it.
Great discipline from Brandmuffin. Waits until the last possible moment when the burst cannot be baited, but not quite going to be enough. Kelpico clearing up that last bit of health.
I will say, I'm very impressed with Jelly's patience in this set, right? God kind of opened up game one and just said, okay, I just need to slow down my game plan. I just need to stop, you know, sending things into spin, and, you know, we're not seeing as many scooters into spin and not as many tumbles into spin. And I really like that, you know, Jelly has pivoted towards just like, I'm going to trust my defense. I'm going to trust calling out fan toss whenever I see it. And I'll just get my normal offense started when I get there. I don't need to rush my way through this neutral that's not the most fun to play against Anji.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing a really good job of, you know, keeping things as honest as they can be with these two characters on screen.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Jelly to take this kind of music, flash cancel, keeps the offense rolling, but the Susan from Brandmuffin answers back. We're just sending it. Neither of us are willing to let off.
Yeah, and I think even though it's going back and forth, I think that this is the adjustment that Brandmuffin is pretty happy about, right? Saying, you've been doing a really good job slowing this down and controlling the space. Even if it gets a little scrappy, a little scrambly. Okay, yeah, and Kelpico now has adjusted, saying, listen, that was a little spicy for a moment. I got my hit. I'm gonna chill. Oh, we're charge dusting. Listen, something about being on stream for this time today. There's no cash prize here. It's all about the ego. Might as well go for the fun stuff.
Might as well let him know you got it. Ooh, great time for the bird.
Oh, this is a really scary burst, but the DP gonna buy another. Yeah, but yeah, that's not that plus anymore. You gotta respect that. And oh, not quite a kill. And Wow, yeah, that burst from Grand Muffin was so good. We've seen Calpico try and bait these bursts with the RCs, with the jump cancels. And Grand Muffin being really disciplined, saying, I'm gonna wait until I have a spot where the burst is 100% guaranteed. And in that spot getting rewarded not only with the burst, not only with the 50 meters spent on the super, also with the corner, and that's gonna allow that round.
Ooh, this time finally gets the better end of that spin, comes up, finds it with a throw, and Calpico is off to the races. A lot of meter on Brand Muffin's side. I mean, hey, that last reversal super got baited, but what's wrong with doing it again? You have it in the back pocket. JD for a little extra air stall time. Ooh, slingshot.
I got hit. Oh, it looks like tried to bait the DP, but didn't quite believe, went for the 2P at the last second.
There, not able to. Ooh, I was gonna say, not able to get to the full connection there. Almost had it. Brand Muffin almost had a 2B that just hung yourself, but tried to beat the burst.
We're all baiting burst. We're all losing games trying to bait burst. Okay, I would have baited it that time. I can't lie. I mean, that's the thing, right? It's the reward is so high the one time you do it that it makes you want to keep doing it, but sometimes you just gotta accept they're gonna burst. You're gonna win the next interaction anyway. It's fine.
With a round to play with, Brand happy to just say, okay, cool, well, I'll get my burst at the very least.
Exactly. Even
a lot of screen space back.
one said, listen, I can tap dust with the best of them. But yet again, gonna force the burst out. And yeah, that's the advantage exactly. Like, sure, you got bursted, but now you got the advantage this round. And we are playing some neutral. Great job navigating around these yo-yos, using the upward momentum of the Phantos actually to hop over that one. Really great awareness from Grand Muffin, but gonna be eating a pretty big hit anyway, although not going pretty well just yet.
Yeah, it's a little too far. This should.
Oh, not quite enough.
We live! We got away with murder. Calpico, you cannot let this one slip away.
Uh-oh. Listen, it's Anji. Anything, you can just guess wrong a couple times and anything can happen. Oh, space is out the DP!
We got caught!
Oh, not quite dead yet. RC and the tap dust gonna do it. No meter to back it up, says you're not blocking this. The whole life on the line and it's gonna work out. Calpico taking that 3-1.
Team KuriGohan. I believe that means that's the set for Team KuriGohan, so...
We're 2-2. Everything's gonna come down to this. Spiral up against Peter for our final tier. And, this is gonna be, yeah, I mean, a nail biter all the way down, right? This last round, good game 5. It's been a really tight race the whole way, and we're going to match 5 all in all. So, we'll see who can take it. Spiral, I believe, on the Kyle, though it might be the Jacko. I know plays both, and Peter, of course, on the classic Potemkin, grappler brain through and through.
I am very excited to see this, of course. For those of you that have been around the Strive scene for a good while, you may see Peter, and you think, well, I knew a Peter that played Strive, played Potemkin as well. And he was kind of a cool guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He's still playing Peter. He's still playing Potemkin. I don't know if listen, biased opinion. I don't think the coolness is gone, but maybe he does. Or maybe
I'm
he's
willing
just
to agree.
Maybe he's thinking that the being upfront about it, saying I am the cool guy. Peter was a little too egotistical, saying I can let other people tell me I'm cool, as we are now. So.
Very excited to see what we're bringing to the table from both ends. Spiral, of course, already here and locked in. Peter, nowhere to be seen. Going in with the Kai, like we were talking about, a Kai Jacko. Going for the Kai in this matchup, very, very much understood. Jacko, with Flick even being minorly nerfed, Flick on JD is still, very, very easily timed, as well as just, Pot has big enough buttons to deal with Jacko at a lot of ranges, so not exactly too scared. On the inverse, though, I do know that, Peter as a player is, I would say, not very rattled by a lot of things, but ultimately is always kind of looking to looking to play a very metered match, which Kai will let you play out. So we might be seeing this final game in their overall set be going the distance.
Oh yeah, and yeah, this is going to be, I think, something that Spiral's going to need to adjust pretty quickly. You cannot get away with charge stun edge, right? That flick's going to come through 100% of the time. But a back throw on defense, and this is new to the patch, right? With command throws not having throw and goal anymore, slamming back throw there is actually a pretty threatening option, right? You grab the Buster. If they mistime the close slash by even a single frame, it gets grabbed, so they need to start relying on the lower reward options like the 2D. But a great air throw to keep the corner, although great defense from Peter blocking the tap dust. Gets caught grabbing a little too far, and forced to hold it all over again.
Spiral now trying to play this like a grappler corner situation. Trade there is fine for Spiral. Overall, keeps yourself in a good position. Catches Peter. Just recognizes, oh, you got hit by Futra? Let me. I guess I'll just keep it going. I'm just gonna come up with a throw.
Absolutely, and we're seeing, I think, exactly what both of these players are most comfortable doing. Spiral keeping it really solid, running the stagger pressure, running the strike throw. Peter, you know, a little bit of maybe a grappler brain through and through, has the, you know, like sliding the hammerfall PRC, is looking for the back throw and the 5P on defense. You know, all great options, I can't fault it, but really, it's on, the prerogative is on Spiral to control these kind of more aggressive options. And that's hard. And oh, big Buster coming through. I think Heavenly's, gonna do it. No chance to burst, keeping the burst lockout from the throw. And, throw skill combos a lot, but this has a lot of minimum damage, and yeah, you're going down. It's Potemkin.
The minimum damage coming through, and we died for it. Peter finds the moment that we wanted.
A great DP on the Garuda. Really important thing to represent, showing, listen, I've got the reactions, you can't get away with your best Oki for free against me, I have that reversal.
Like flood there with the 6 speed. For opportunities. Honestly, he's just tanking so many throws in a row that Spiral's saying, alright, cool, I mean, hey, this is how I get my damage. Back dash gets blown up.
Scary, right? Because Throw Peter's eaten a lot of throws, but he's also gotten his own throw punished on defense a number of times. So Spiral just finding that right balance between the shimmies and the throws. But here with a quick mash, not respecting the BRC, saying you're gonna try something fake. I'm just gonna hit you. I'm gonna take game one.
Absolutely, Peter first on the board. I do like also that, like, you know, that game one felt like, oh, I'm getting hit so much. And this is just sort of grappler resilience you need to have, where you're like, I'm losing all these instances. Oh, I'm getting hit a lot, or like, you know, getting thrown a lot, blah, blah, blah. But when you get your one, being able to be like, all right, cool, I'm going to convert this into the whole round. It's what you need to do on pot, especially on this patch where you don't get as many, like, opportunities to jam armor through, or like, you know, Gigantic Kai into I'm gonna walk down the neutral. You get all this extra meter that you can convert into easily 60% on everyone in the cast.
Yeah, definitely. And it's the kind of thing, right? Like as you were saying, you can be wrong a number of times on pot and still be playing risk reward well, because when you're right, you just do so much damage. Look at that health bar.
Yeah, already in shambles.
I like the short combo, not giving, you know, maybe looking for a burst on the next hit, not going to give the opportunity. And now for Spiral, I think you just have to, take the burst to the next round and say, hey, that one, I got grappled. That one didn't go according to plan. Let's just save the burst for the next one.
2S getting smoked out by the 2K, 2D, shimmies up with a command grab. Find some extra pressure here. Flicks just catching you at the most awkward of times for Spiral. Opened up by Lowe's, almost baited the DP, but Peter just caught not blocking.
We are playing some neutral. Oh, great! Wow, I'm seeing the matchup develop in real time. Using the new lightning strike to get around the flick, and we are in Dragon install, baby. We are powered up. We're playing the best character in the game, and we're baiting the burst. And that should be a kill, just like that for Spiral.
Yeah, got a little worried that we didn't see it. You know, like, you can always tell by the audio cue of the RC not quite getting that, like, echo that you hear. Always your sign that burst is coming, but once the jump happened, we're like, oh, well, I'm already in. I can block. I got this.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people opt for this as a burster, as a more burst safe option after RC, not playing the mind games of, oh, when are you gonna burst, when am I gonna close slash. If you just up forward, do a normal right as you land, you're burst safe the whole time. And, oh, I didn't think that would kill, but Peter gonna clean up that round. Despite, a strong showing from Spiral in that second round, Peter making it a quick 2-0 so far.
Peter did. I have to call this out. Peter did Garuda PRC forward to get yourself close enough for punish range.
And also
for the blocked burst.
The setup also naturally baits DPs. That's now that Garuda's a projectile, you can Garuda PRC it. The projectile stays. Get your plus 40 guard crush safe jump. A little bit weaker this patch now that the RC adds the scaling. So even if you're wrong on that guard crush, it's not quite as big of a deal. But
I love it. I love it. Peter got setups. Peter got updates. And of course, it's what you expect at the top rung, top tier of each of these teams. Some good pressure started up here. These multi-overheads from Spiral are just keeping pressure very consistent, not getting a whole lot of opportunities for Peter to find reversals. It's about if Spiral can convert that into more than just a throw. I'd love to start seeing some like shimmies, some like walk in, dash out.
Yeah, and Kai also blessed, given his threatening air space can shimmy just with the up forward J, just like that to bait throws. Although, Pod known for his excellent anti-Os, so it's a little risky.
Through the wall we go. Stun Dipper immediately recognizes your meter situation, say, I get to send this, and you have to hold it.
And I love not spending the RC to combo off that Stun Dipper saying, listen, you're in shock state, I get my heart knocked down, I get Oki, I'm gonna save the meter for the tap dust next afterwards. And yeah, Spiral getting a little nervous, I think. Oh, no, there's no way, right? I'm questioning this. I'm not throwing rock. Okay, yeah. But Spiral, I think, getting a little antsy on this, on the guard crush. Getting, we're bursting this round. It's so.
Oh no, meter! You could die. It's a double KO!
Let's go, double KO.
There's no way! Spiral knew that, like, okay, well, you don't have meter, you can't FD this anymore. But Peter's like, well, I got one option. It's not let you
to trade.
Oh,
block the Stun Dipper. Yeah, it's gonna be a force burst. Oh, great application of that new move, using the second hit to break armor.
Through the wall we go. Spiral. Keeping yourself alive here. It's about finding the opportunity. Meter's here. The DP's going wide though. You get it with throw.
We're just pressing throw. Oh, we got the good player check.
You will react.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you got with the pressure sequence?
You can't PRC those anymore.
The commentator.
First gonna. Oh, we're okay. I think Spiral might be seeing the light, seeing the way out. Yeah, get the burst. You're about to build this 50 meter. Oh, but the flick gonna catch. I can't believe that killed. That did a lot of damage. And with that, catching the Fudrark, Peter's gonna take that 3-0, taking it for Team Mistikal. Gonna win the full set over Team KuriGohan.
I can't believe we just sent there. That was terrifying. But either way, that means that with Peter knocking that one down, taking that one home, Team Mistikal gets to call themselves the victors for this round one. Beautiful stuff to both of our teams. That means that's 2 rounds down, or that's 2 of our teams that we got to watch demonstrated here. There will be more action. We're going to go to our round 2 block, which is going to be commentated by Maya and Ji, Leahi and Aloha. As we go into our round 2, I believe we have a little bit of time before we can get our coaches in here to say a few words. So I hope y'all have been enjoying. If you are interested, please feel free to drop a follow. The main event is still to come. Details will be tweeted out about that a little later. So if you want to be following all that action, you want to know where the real metal will be tested, that's where you want to be. That's where you want to follow. So, of course, we're going to get our coaches in here, say a few words, and talk to the people. Let's let's get a little introspection from our coaches,
Oh.
KuriGohan and Mistikal. Hello, hello.
Oh,
We got
hello.
one of them
I've
in.
been transported.
We have Mistikal and KuriGohan. We just got to watch the Dukes be put up on both sides. A beautiful five set round. Getting to watch them go all through the games. Let's start with Mistikal, of course. Your team taking it home. What was the energy like? Because I'm sure you're in call with everyone. I'm sure you're listening to the gamers. How did it feel to watch your team go to bat today?
It felt really great. I was a little nervous because I only gave people like one assignment to do for the past 2 weeks, and I think it's really paid off because I'm seeing the improvements. I'm seeing where we can take it to win next week. We're gonna win it all. I'm so proud. Oh my god, the hype, the energy. I was always yelling. I was typing in caps in the chat. I was screaming in the call. I could not be happier as the coach.
Absolutely, and we love that. And of course, you know, on that subject of just talking about the coaching that goes in and, you know, like your philosophy, KuriGohan, what kind of went into prepping your team for this first leg of the event? And, you know, what are some things that you saw them pulling out from your coaching going in?
Yeah, so coaching like these set of people, I'm super proud of how they performed in this round one. One of my philosophies was trying to teach them how to like buy in to like an improvement culture. A lot of them told me that like going into the slam, they were like really sort of like nervous of like playing like first to 3 sets and tournament sets, and then I got them into you know, and then that was a challenge for me to how do I like relate to them into how I came, and then I pass it on to them. So they really got into like the rhythm of like, you know, playing like playing with heart, like playing their game, just like without like overthinking it too much. And I thought they did that really well. Just like all the sets I saw today were exactly what I wanted to see. It's just a little small things. It's just like it really is the micromanagement decision making that, like, you know, we'll deal with that later. But I was super proud of everyone today, and like everyone bought in and everyone was improving. I saw it all, and my team's goated.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, there is a huge, I feel like that's always going to be something that's true is, you know, you can get the training, you can get the coaching to get the mindset, but until you're actually in the hot seat, you don't know what it feels like. But hopefully that preparation and then getting this taste of it here will be able to kind of carry them forward into the next round and into the next leg of the event as we go forward through the rest of this Socal Slam. I also want to ask you, Gohan, you know, if you had to, you know, pick up some moments, pick up some hype that you really enjoyed from your team, anything that, like, you know, surprised you, anybody that you want to highlight, anybody that you want to give a shout out to from the sets that we just watched?
Shout out to my sister, Nico Mimi. I was right beside her when she did her set, and then she told me, yeah, the nerves did get to her. Like, stuff wasn't coming out. She was getting frustrated with herself. But I saw like the buttons coming out, the combos, the combo routing, and then she was so close to taking games. I think just like, you know, getting more reps in is gonna do her dividends like in the future. King Doppio's broken, Leo's broken. I told him, you play a broken character, go act like it. Wuna played crazy, like down 0-2, didn't give up to game 5. Claire, I literally said, just be me. You can beat Bran if you beat me. And she played exactly how I would play that matchup. Yeah, and Spiral, like, he didn't give up, and I still think Pot's a broken character. But that's the thing. There you go.
there you go. Top to bottom, from family to friends to everything in between, we get to hear KuriGohan shed a little love to the team. Mistikal, of course, likewise. Any love that you want to show to your team, anybody you want to shout out, give us the rundown.
I think it's hard to shout out one of my players. I think all of them have just done a really great job of just like working on the stuff that I've been giving them, and then like showing it off, like their improvements this set. Like I'm super proud of all of them, but I want to especially shout out Lilith Range, our resident Eno player. Eno is hard this patch. Like her default is kind of easy to access, but I think playing the neutral, playing defense, that's really difficult. And even though that was like, it didn't come to full fruition. I see the fundies. I see a dangerous Eno in our midst, and I'm super proud of the just all of the improvements of just getting more comfortable with her game plan and how she is this patch. So I just want to shout that out.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's always fun to see the gold on the horizon, what you can cultivate out of these players. I'm sure we'll be seeing more from both of your teams, not just today, but in the future as well. Thank you both for entering the competition, shedding a little insight onto the team. We'll be seeing more from them later. Chat, don't go anywhere. We're going to be cutting to a quick break while we load up everybody for round 2. Get these teams in order so that you can see more SoCal Slam action. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.